You just inherit a property. Maybe it's a few hours away. Maybe it's across the country. And before you've even had a chance to process what that means emotionally, you're already realizing what it means logistically. Repairs that probably need to happen, decisions that need to be made, people who need to be coordinated, and you can't just drive over and handle it on a Tuesday afternoon because you don't live there. So you start wondering, do I just take whatever offer comes in first? Do I have to fly out there repeatedly? Is this gonna take over my life? If any of that sounds familiar, stay with me, because in this video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly how out-of-state heirs sell inherited properties without the back and forth travel, without the constant stress, and without leaving money on the table just because the distance made it feel complicated. Here's what I want you to understand first. The distance isn't actually the problem. I know it feels like the problem, but the real issue is the absence of a local support structure, someone you trust to manage what's happening there so you don't have to. When out-of-state heirs don't have the structure, they almost always end up in one of two situations. The first one, they accept the low investor offer just to make it stop. The problem goes away, but they often leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table because managing it properly felt too complicated from a distance. The second one is they try to manage everything themselves, coordinating contractors they don't know, making decisions without enough information, flying out for things that didn't need them there, and it turns into exactly the exhausting ordeal they were so afraid of. Neither of those has to be your story. There's a third option, and that's what this video is about. All right, so when people hear hands-off sale, they usually have three questions. Can someone manage the property locally on my behalf? Yes, and this is the foundation of the entire approach we have. Having a trusted local point of contact who can physically be at the property, coordinate vendors, assess what needs to happen, and keep you informed changes everything. You make the decisions, they handle the execution. Can repairs and updates be handled without me being there? Absolutely. And not only can they be handled remotely, they should be managed strategically. Not every repair adds value. Not every update is worth the cost. The goal is identifying what actually moves the needle on sale price versus what's just spending money for no return. So do I need to travel to sign documents or close the sale? In most cases, you don't. Electronic signatures handle the majority of documents nowadays. For anything requiring notarization, a mobile notary can come to you wherever you are. You never have to book a flight just to sign a piece of paper. That's what a genuinely hands-off process looks like. You stay in your life, the property gets handled properly, and you stay informed every step of the way without it taking over your schedule. So let me walk you through a real situation. We work with an heir who lived out of state and inherited a property that needed significant amount of work. And the goal wasn't just to get rid of it quickly. It was to actually maximize the value, which meant the property had to be prepared properly first. Every decision had to happen remotely. Every contractor, every repair, every update, all managed locally on their behalf. Here's how we handled it. First, we assessed the property and identified exactly what repairs and updates would actually improve the sale price versus what would just cost money without a real return. Then we sourced and vetted contractors. The owner didn't have to find anyone, interview anyone, or worry about whether the work was being done right. That was handled here locally with regular photos and video updates so the owner could see exactly what was happening without them being here. Every decision that needed their input was presented clearly. Here's the situation. Here are the options. Here's what we recommend. No guesswork. No being overwhelmed with information they couldn't act on. Just clear communication that kept them in control without consuming their time. Once the property was ready, photographed, clean, positioned properly, we listed it on the market. The entire closing process was handled remotely. Electronic signatures, mobile notary arranged for anything requiring it. The owner never left their home, no, not once. And because the property was properly prepared, and properly marketed rather than sold to the first investor who called, the outcome reflected was what it was actually worth, not a discounted distress sale driven by distance and inconvenience. All right, so I want to address something a lot of out-of-state heirs feel, but don't always say out loud. There's the fear of being taken advantage, and when you're not there, of not knowing whether the contractor actually did what you paid for, of not being able to tell if the advice you're getting is genuinely in your interest or just convenient for someone else. And that's a very valid fear. And it's exactly why the relationship with whoever is managing this locally matters so much. The right person gives you real information, including information you might not want to hear, and keeps you in the loop with enough detail to make confident decisions without needing to be physically present. If someone's answer to every question is, "Don't worry about it, we'll handle it," that's not hands off. That's just being kept in the dark. So being out of state does not mean you have to accept less for your property, not at all. It does not mean you have to make rush decisions under pressure, and it does not mean this process has to take over your entire life. It just means you need the right structure and the right people in place locally, so you stay in control of the decisions without having to manage the execution yourself. If you're in this situation right now, the best thing you could do is to have a conversation early, before you've committed to anything, before you've accepted an offer, before the pressure builds. We can look at what the property actually needs, what can realistically be handled remotely, and map out a clear path forward for your specific situation. Link is in the description. Reach out and we'll set up a time to talk. And if this was helpful, you can subscribe. We put out content specifically for people navigating inherited properties and probate sales. I'll see you in the next one.